will lead to further division of our country. No? Imagine, we will all be stuck in a legal zarzuela, in a political exercise, no, such as a trial in the Senate, instead of concentrating in making our country move forward. No? It will cause the division of the people. Lahat na lang tayo, araw-araw na lang didiskusyon kung guilty ba si Vice President Sara Duterte, na dapat nga sanang pag-usapan yung national budget na minagic po o minagic, may mga blanco, yun sana ang dapat pag-usapan. Dito tayo sa mga akusasyon na wala namang basihanan. No, it is not a good sign for our country. It will only lead to further division, and it will probably lead to misunderstandings between our neighbors, no? So it does not bode well for the future of our country.
Sir, bakit po call to conscience ang paghahain ng mga petitioner ng reklamo sa Supreme Court laban dito sa impeachment case ni VP Sara Duterte?
Well, it is really a conscience call, no? Because imagine through the unilateral action po ng 215 congressmen, they parang gusto nila na walain yung 32,208,417 votes, no? That is why ang proseso kasi ng impeachment, akala natin pag meron na tayong 1/3 vote, ay dire-diretso na yan kaagad. Pero na-explain kasi yan sa mga desisyon po ng Korte Suprema, specifically like for example Francisco versus House of Representatives, where doon sa pag-impeach po kay Chief Justice Davide po, sabi ng Supreme Court, impeachment is not a mere numbers game, no? It is not a tool for political expediency, no? Just because you have the numbers, it does not mean that you can outrightly file an impeachment complaint against high public officials such as the President, Vice President, members of the Constitutional Commissions, the Ombudsman, no? Without following the rigid procedural requirements. Why? Because you are filing a complaint that seeks to remove high public officials voted by the people. So therefore, the procedural requirements, which are rigid and strict, must be dutifully followed so that the protections under the constitutions would really be made effective. Yun po ang atin. Imagine, inelect sila ng mga tao tapos basta-basta lang sa isang araw lang babasahin yung complaint na napakakapal po, no? Imposible po na naintindihan nila iyon, imposible po na nabasa nila iyon, pinirmahan lang. Walang requirement, hindi nag-comply doon sa verification requirement na dapat may personal knowledge sila doon sa kanilang pinipirmahan, na-assess nila yung mga ebidensya, at dapat yung proseso po ay na-follow. Lahat po ito yinurakan, minadali sa last hour, last minute na po ng third session ng Congress. So, kaya sa tingin namin kailangan yung mga may konsensya na mga tao, no? We responded to their call, and we drafted the complaint, showed it to our colleagues, no? And they were convinced na dapat mag-file talaga tayo ng petition kasi nga po labag po ito sa konstitusyon, and besides, hindi man lang binigyan ng pagkakataon, no, na makaresponde si Vice President Sara Duterte po dito sa complaint. So it likewise violates due process kasi kailangan yung tao bago sampahan ng kaso, pakinggan muna natin kung ano naman yung side niya. And most importantly, meron kasing tatlong priorly filed complaints, no? Noong December 2, may na-file na complaint, impeachment complaint. Noong December 4, merong na-file na complaint. December 19, merong na-file na complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. Ano ba ang nakasaad sa batas natin dito? Ang Constitution po, Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 2, nagsasabi po na pag may impeachment complaint po na natatanggap, no, ay dapat po ito i-include, no? It should immediately, may word pa nga immediately, include in the order of business within 10 session days and referred to the proper committee within 3 session days thereafter. And then kung basahin mo din sa Rule 2, Section 3 of the Rules of Procedure of the House of Representatives, nakasaad din doon na dapat pag may matanggap yung Secretary General ng House of Representatives na impeachment complaint, dapat ipadala kaagad ito sa Speaker para ang Speaker ipa-include yun sa order of business within 10 session days at saka thereafter yung Speaker naman i-refer niya sa Committee on Justice within 3 days. Hindi nila ginawa ito doon sa 3 complaint. Bakit? Bakit? Kasi sa Francisco versus House of Representatives, pag ma-refer na ito sa Committee on Justice, mag-ooperate na yung Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 na 1-year bar rule. Mula sa date po, petsa, sa pagka-refer sa House Committee on Justice, bawal na po mag-file ng complaint within 1 year. Ang purpose dito kay para iwasan yung mga nonsense na mga complaints para siguraduhin na yung complaint lamang ay really with factual and legal basis, and because this procedure of impeachment is really aimed to correct grave abuses to these high officials. Hindi ito ginawa. Bakit? Kay para hindi mag-operate yung 1-year bar rule. Kaya kung ginawa yun, itong 4th complaint, void na ito. Bawal na ito. So kaya hindi yung ginawa, nag-file tayo ng petition for certiorari, prohibition, at saka nag-pray tayo ng injunction at saka TRO po. Yun po ang in essence ang ating petition.
Yes sir, doon po tayo sa argumento na separation of powers. Hindi daw po pwedeng pakialaman ang trabaho ng Kongreso pagdating po sa issue ng impeachment. Hindi daw dapat ito pakialaman ng kataas-taasang hukuman. Ano pong masasabi niyo sir?
Well, we respect their opinion, but I do hope that they will be reminded of the expanded jurisdiction of certiorari of the Supreme Court under Article 8, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, which confers upon the Supreme Court the power to determine whether or not there has been grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of other branches of the government. No? So this expanded concept of certiorari now grants the authority on the part of the Supreme Court, no, to look into the acts of other branches such as the House of Representatives when they file the impeachment complaint. Kaya nga, doon nga sa Article 11, Section 3 of the 1987 Constitution, when they have the 2/3 vote, akala nila kung 2/3 vote na, pwede na madaliin lahat, wala na yung procedure on verification. Hindi po, kasi yung first phrase pa nga lang, in case the verified complaint or petition, no, is supported by 1/3 of the... So there is therefore that requirement that the complaint itself must be verified. And what is the concept of verification under the rules? No, the concept of verification under the rules in Hyun Yang Park versus Yu Won Choi, a pleading may be verified in the following manner. One may be based on one's own personal knowledge or based on authentic records, or both, as the circumstances may warrant. So therefore, this requires that the person who signs a pleading or a complaint must have personal knowledge, first-hand observation or experience as distinguished from a belief based on what someone else has said. So therefore, there is a stringent requirement. Napaka-stricto po na requirement na dapat meron siyang personal knowledge dun sa pinipirmahan nila. Nakikita naman natin yung mga congressman, congresswomen, alas 10 ng umaga, alas 11 ng umaga, ni hindi pa nga nila alam kung ano yung subject matter dun sa caucus. And then if you note, at 3:45 p.m., they already included the impeachment complaint as one of the additional reference of business. What does that tell you? So they only have 3 hours to 4 hours, no, to read the complaint. Ilang kopya lang yung complaint na nandun sa kanila. Ang nandun sa kanila nila ang mga 24 o 30 complaints lang yun. divide mo yan by 215. Oh, so kung 24 complaints lang ang nandun, sigurado ako na ang iba doon pumirma lang. Okay, so kung pumirma ka, then you did not comply with the strict procedural and stringent requirements required by the Constitution, because an impeachment complaint is not an ordinary complaint. You are now seeking to remove high government officials, so you must know what you are signing. You must have personal knowledge of what you are saying. You must have assessed the evidences, because this is a solemn process. This is not a mere numbers game. Yan po ang wala nila na follow po dito, and therefore since this was not followed, it can be classified as a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction, because Senate can only act upon a valid complaint. A trial in the Senate presupposes that what was filed was a valid complaint. I-void yung complaint, minadali, blitzkrieg fashion. And it was even filed in last 3 minutes. And impeachment complaints is a product of deliberation, discussion. Why? It comes from the word initiate. When you initiate, it is a product of discussion. It is a product of deliberation by Congress, because you seek to remove a public officer. Kaya nga kung basahin mo yung Rule 2 Section 2 ng Rules of Procedure nila, maski nga 1/3 vote meron ka na, dadaan pa rin sa kanilang Committee on Justice, nandun sa rules nila. Tapos kung basahin mo sa Rule 2 Section 3 din, dapat yung first 3 complaints ay nirefer ka agad doon sa order of business within 10 session days, and then within 3 days doon sa Committee on Justice. Hindi naman nila finalo yun, kay para hindi mag-operate yung 1-year bar rule. So how can you say that there is no grave abuse of discretion? All these matters can be resolved by the Supreme Court only, because the Senate has a limited jurisdiction. And what is the jurisdiction of the Senate? Only to try a valid complaint. Any and all questions beyond that, which are not stated in the Constitution, is subject to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court as the final arbiter of the law as well as the Constitution. Any questions concerning interpretations or whether or not there has been grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction is the domain or province of the Supreme Court. Yan po ang answer natin dyan.
Opo, at Attorney Shadmar po pala ito, maayong gabi. At
Yes po, maayong gabi, Sir Admar.
malinaw din po yung mga naging pahayag ng ilan sa mga kongresista, kasi siningil siguro ito ng kanilang mga constituents kung bakit sila pumirma doon sa impeachment, at nagpaliwanag sila at naging viral din ito sa social media, no, yung kanilang sinasabi na kung ano ang rason kung bakit sila pumirma, at doon sa kanilang mga paliwanag ay wala naman silang sinabi o pag-explain na naniniwala sila doon sa kaso ng pangalawang Pangulo o yung mga reasons doon. Ang sinasabi nila, kailangan kong pumirma para sa ayuda.
Kaya nga with more reason that should be struck out, no? Why? Because the motivation behind it is suspect, no? It is done for political expediency. Kaya nga doon nga sa Francisco versus House of Representatives, sabi nga ng Supreme Court, no, the impeachment process is a solemn process, no, which is governed by strict procedural requirements and stringent procedural requirements, because it is meant to protect, not subvert democracy. And therefore, it is not a tool for political expediency. So, klaro yan na political expediency yun. Hindi yun based on the 6 grounds for what's called this, for impeachment. Hindi nila talaga alam whether or not it is what's called this culpable violation of the Constitution, graft and corruption, bribery, treason, other high crimes. There are 6 grounds there. They have to determine whether or not the grounds there and are really falling under the grounds provided for under the 1987 Constitution. So that requires deliberation, that requires discussion, that requires study. You do not just go there and just sign right away, because their own rules, Rule 4, Section 14 of the House Rules of Procedure of the House of Representatives states that they should sign an impeachment complaint based on their own personal knowledge. Mali pa nga yung nakalagay sa kanilang rules kasi knowledge and belief. If you will base it under the 2019 Rules of Civil Procedure, which applies suppletorily, that cannot be done because a complaint, when you sign it, it must be based upon your personal knowledge, first-hand experience, or based on authentic records. It must not only be your belief, much more because you need ayuda. That is a corrupt reason to sign an impeachment complaint. You are doing a disservice to the country and to the nation in general.
Opo, ano po yung nakasaad po sa atin pong batas o sa konstitusyon, attorney, na maaring pananagutan, if ever man po, no, na ito po ay mapatunayan, nagkaroon sila ng kamalian?
Well, ang sa akin nga, yung Speaker of the House, no, with due respect to him, no, even if we are questioning his moves, he may be liable for dereliction of duty. Why? Yung non-referral of the 3 complaints to the order of business within 10 session days, kasi may word dun immediately. Trabaho niya yun dapat i-include niya yun sa order of business within 10 session days. And then, referral thereafter within 3 session days to the Committee on Justice. Hindi niya ginawa, tinulugan. At in-archive pa. Bakit nila ginawa yun? Grave abuse of discretion yung klaro kasi kung ginawa nila yon, nirefer nila sa Committee of Justice, 1 year from the referral to the Committee of Justice, bawal na mag-file ng impeachment complaint against kay Vice President Sara Duterte or to any impeachable official. So, yun namang mga congressmen naman nagpirma, may declaration pa na dahil sa mga ayuda, then they are impelled by corrupt motives or maybe questionable motives, and their constituents may file administrative cases against them. Pero ang problema lang kasi niyan, election na. Kung ma-re-elect naman sila, so parang baliwala na rin yun. They may also file a case for probable Section 3E, causing undue injury. Why it is causing undue injury to the government and to the people? Because by signing the complaint based on questionable motives, they have caused the division of the country. They have caused the allocation of millions of money for the creation of an impeachment court. Kasi nangangailangan niya ng pera Kaya nga pera natin yan Yun lang pag yun lang pag meeting nila. Siyempre nag-snack sila doon. Nag-print sila doon. Ang gastos ng printer doon, gastos yun ng taong bayan. Yun pala hindi naman pala nila naiintindihan. Kasi pumirma lang pala sila para magkaroon sila ng ayuda. So not because of the soundness of the complaint. Those are questionable motives talaga. Kaya nga it's up to their constituents, and the best barometer there is not to elect them this coming elections. Yan din ang matinding punishment para sa kanila.
Opo, at kabilang din po sa inyo pong kini-question po, attorney, kung nararapat ba na ipagpatuloy or kumbaga, kasi debate rin po kung pwede na bang umpisahan itong impeachment or sa June 1 na ba sa pagbabalik po nila or sa bagong set. Kabilang din ba ito sa maaring magkaroon ng paglilinaw sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema?
Yes, probably, but I think in fairness to the Senate President, yung declaration niya na dapat if ever hindi kami makakuha ng TRO injunction, doon na sa next Senate ang magta-trial. Kasi nga tama siya, wala namang special session for an impeachment trial. Special sessions are only called for emergency legislative measures po. Hindi po as an impeachment court, because the Senate, essentially, its principal job is to pass laws, not to conduct trials. So kung magpatawag ito ng special session, ang purpose po niyan ay pagpapanday po ng batas, hindi po pagtatrial. Kasi yung pagtatrial, exception lang yun sa kanyang trabaho. no, in very rare instances such as situation yung mag-file ng impeachment complaint, hindi po yan sakop doon sa posibleng magsagawa ng special session. So in that regard, sa aking pananaw, tama po si Senate President Chis Escudero po.
Opo, Attorney, kung hindi po mabigyan ng paglilinaw at kung mapababayaan lang po itong ganitong impeachment proceedings na kahit halimbawa pagpalagay natin may mga paglabag talaga kasi didesisyonan pa yun ng Korte Suprema. Kung hindi po ito maagapan, sir, at mabigyan ng kalinawan, anong nakikita niyo pong masamang epekto, President, nito sa hinaharap?
Well, kung hindi ito mapigilan, no, it will lead to further division of our country, no? Imagine we will all be stuck in a legal zarzuela, in a political exercise, no, such as a trial in the Senate, instead of concentrating in making our country move forward, no? It will cause the division of the people. Lahat na lang tayo, araw-araw na lang didiskusyon kung guilty ba si Vice President Sara Duterte, na dapat nga sanang pag-usapan yung national budget na minagic po o minagic, may mga blanco, yun sana ang dapat pag-usapan. Dito tayo sa mga akusasyon na wala namang basihanan. No, it is not a good sign for our country. It will only lead to further division, and it will probably lead to misunderstandings between our neighbors, no? So it does not bode well for the future of our country.
Alright, sir, huli na lang bilang pong dekano ng isang magaling na law institution, ano kaya magiging role ng akademya at ng legal institutions sa paksang ito? Lalo pat pasunod-sunod kasi, sir, ang topic ng impeachment eh. Alam mo, hindi naman ito naaabot ng na topic ng ordinaryong mga kababayan pag hindi naman nababalita. Ito, public, nationwide noise na talaga itong issue na ito, na tuloy yung ating mga kababayan napipilitan pag-aralan yung proseso sa impeachment.
Yes. Sa amin naman in the academy, we will continue to discuss this so as to educate our people. Meron nga nagsasabi, hindi ba ito sub judice? Ang akin pong pananaw, hindi po sub judice ito kasi this is not strictly a judicial trial po. No, our senators should know where do we stand and what are our views on the matter, no? Kaya nga ang sabi nga ni Justice Leonen and US jurisprudence would provide that an impeachment proceeding is sui generis. It is a legal as well as a political process, no? It is not purely judicial and legal process, no? So therefore, the rules on sub judice, sa pananaw ko po, humble opinion ko po, pwede po akong magkamali, pero may US jurisprudence po nito, hindi po mag-apply ang sub judice dito. Kaya mag-ingay po tayo, dapat tayo i-discuss natin palagi so that the senators would know where do we stand on these issues, and so that they will know that the people are watching them and that the people would make them accountable in case they would rush in their judgment against the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines.
Attorney, pahabol ko lang po. Sapat na po at malinaw na po batay sa konstitusyon at doon sa mga naging desisyon po ng Korte Suprema. Marami na rin po tayong experience sa impeachment trial po para mabigyan ng linaw ang lahat kung ano talaga ang tamang proseso sa impeachment po.
Opo. So we should do that. SMNI should lead the discussion, and we should continue to dapat araw-arawin natin yung diskusyon para alam ng tao po, alam nila kung ano ang proseso talaga, kung may basihan ba ito na i-continue, no? So that they will write the senators. They will make their voices known to the senators and to their congressmen also, so that their voices can properly be heard. No, there is a saying, Vox Populi, Vox Dei. No, the voice of the people is the voice of God. The people now is the fabric, is the real source of sovereignty. It is the power of the people is the source of all authority. So, inaanyayahan natin yung ating madla na makisali po sa diskusyon. at ipaalam natin kung ano yung ating minimithi sa ating mga officials para alam nila na galit na po ang taong bayan, na dapat trabahuin nila ang dapat na trabaho nila, hindi po dito sa nag-aaksaya lamang tayo sa panahon at sa oras natin at na lilihis na ang tamang daan na dapat tahakin ng ating bayan.